If you hold US dollars, the foundation of your global purchasing power is actively collapsing in real time right now. While traditional banking systems show signs of strain, the XRP Ledger has seen a 920% increase in tokenized commodities, becoming the world's second-largest commodity blockchain. Today, we are looking at how a hidden liquidity layer is replacing the petrodollar and the specific moves you need to make. For viewers in the United States, this is a direct signal. The rest of the world is moving away from the dollar. Ignoring this transition into a new technological architecture is no longer just a lack of information, it is a threat to your personal wealth. While retail investors focus on short-term market volatility in the Middle East, institutional liquidity providers are positioning themselves for a transition away from legacy finance. Global superpowers are now actively bypassing the US dollar to settle cross-border oil trades in local currencies. To facilitate these massive transfers of wealth, these nations are utilizing the XRP Ledger as the underlying settlement layer. Look at this comparison. On the left is the traditional SWIFT network, the legacy messaging system banks use, stalling out with delays. On the right, XRP connects these global points directly. XRP is a purpose-built architectural replacement for the infrastructure currently slowing down the global banking network. In a moment, we will break down the mechanics of the India-UAE oil deal and why the XRPL saw a 920% surge. But first, hit the subscribe button. If you aren't subscribed, you will miss critical alerts regarding the timing of this global wealth transfer. Traditional oil trades are slowed by Nostro and Vastro accounts. These are pre-funded accounts where banks must park billions in foreign currencies just to facilitate trades. BRICS nations, an economic coalition including nations like China and India, bypass this by using XRP as a neutral bridge asset. A buyer converts their local currency into XRP, sends it across the ledger, and the seller converts it instantly into their own currency. This settles multi-million-dollar transactions in 3 to 5 seconds for fractions of a cent, requiring 0 pre-funded accounts. These specific mechanics make the legacy SWIFT network a secondary option for modern commodity finance. This technology has already moved beyond testing. In 2024, India and the UAE completed a live crude oil transaction that bypassed the US dollar. This transaction was sanctioned by both governments and utilized the XRP Ledger to settle the payment using local currencies rather than the dollar. Data from real-world asset analytics shows that this is part of a broader migration of capital onto the ledger. This chart shows an explosive 920% increase in tokenized commodities. Tokenization is the process of creating digital versions of physical assets on a blockchain. In just 3 months, this volume grew from $111 million to $1.14 billion. The XRP Ledger is now the #2 blockchain globally for tokenized commodities, trailing only Ethereum and outperforming Solana, Polygon, and BNB. These powerful metrics demonstrate that XRP is already functioning as the wholesale liquidity layer for the global de-dollarization agenda. To manage this scale, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and President Monica Long recently completed a massive global expansion push. They visited 4 offices across 3 continents, Dublin, London, Singapore, and Sydney, in only 5 days. Their objective was to embed AI into real-time cash flow forecasting and CFO-grade liquidity tools. These efforts show a clear focus on building permanent institutional infrastructure rather than waiting for retail market cycles. This coordinated global push ensures XRP remains at the center of a new financial architecture designed for banks and governments. Check our YouTube community tab to vote in our poll. Are you holding XRP for the long term or trading the volatility? For immediate updates, scan the QR code on your screen or use the link in the description to join our Telegram channel. While this technology is being perfected for governments and institutions, it creates a significant risk for the individual holder. A regulatory framework is currently being developed in Washington, D.C. that could effectively lock retail holders out of this institutional liquidity system. Click the video card on your screen now to see exactly what is being planned behind closed doors. Technical supremacy does not guarantee your personal access to this wealth. You need to see this next video to understand the regulatory risks ahead.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.